What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, June 10th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, live in Los Angeles, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob Texas treat Latino heat, ripping heads, clicking shreds. I was so close, Andy. God, I was so close on that one. The Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez. No,
Yes, hello, Greg. Hello, welcome from LA. City of Angels, everybody.
See, this is what threw me. As I look at the confidence monitor, I'm in Los Angeles, in the hotel room. Of course, I'm doing E3 here. You are also in Los Angeles. I see outside the Nokia Center there with some E3 signs, some Summer Game Fest signs.
Yes, Greg, yes. Yeah, we're here in Los Angeles, sunny Los Angeles. Celebrities are all over the place, and I'm just really excited to be here in this city with you. We got brunch earlier, and yeah, it's a beautiful day.
See, to me, Andy, that just looks like you have a green screen JPEG behind you where you went, because there is no E3 in person, and even when you put on the sunglasses, now I can see like your computer monitor in front of you.
Let me just
it doesn't seem, oh, now you're angling your eyes down a bit. Okay, I see how you're.
Yeah.
Greg, we built him a mobile setup. Yeah, so yeah, he actually has his laptop there. It's on a little rack.
Lots changed. I was off Kinda Funny content for 2 days. Lots changed.
Should I not have the badge? Yeah, sure. I probably.
Tell me, is this your E3 badge? Is this your E3 badge or your Summer Game Fest badge? That's just a piece of paper. That's just a white piece of paper.
Don't show the front. Don't show the front.
Lanyard.
Yeah, because of a lesson we learned last year, we cover it now with a piece of paper.
No. This is actually like when you walk in, they do a black light, and there's secret characters underneath it being revealed. So
okay.
That's where you're like, wow, you really belong here. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. I guess you're in Los Angeles, where they have billboards promoting digital events because it kind of looks like how they would normally promote E3. But what's the weather like out there?
It's brisk. It's nice and chilly. I probably should have worn a jacket, honestly, but it's gonna. LA. You know how this city is. We come.
You don't like the weather 1 second, you'll be there in a different second.
Yeah,
that's what they would say. That's what
for sure, Greg.
For sure, man.
It's gonna cool down. It's gonna get warm here in about an hour or so. So I said, screw the jacket. Let's just roll live. Can you hear? Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you. This is a great connection. We have a great connection from our satellite.
Cool. I'm talking to the production crew.
Is that a JPEG car? Did you animate a JPEG car to roll behind you?
The silver Prius. I believe.
Yeah, they went the other direction. Yeah.
Look, you know, LA. They're so energy conscious. They're so energy safe. They like their electric vehicles over here. Hey, are we going to talk about the show? Are we going to talk about video games?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, and it is all Xbox bombshells, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out Xbox is working with TV makers to get that Xbox stuff built right in. They're making their own streaming stick, and they think PlayStation's PC strategy sucks. We're going to talk about all this and more because...
Oh, hey, good morning, Parris. Hey, what up, Gary? You guys ready for the XCast? Oh, man, this is going to be a great
Mike,
XCast
this
episode.
isn't... This isn't the XCast. This is Kinda Funny Games Daily.
I jumped into the wrong Discord. My bad. You guys mind if I stay here and talk about Xbox with y'all?
You know what, Mike? I think you should, because every story today is Xbox related, because Xbox has come out swinging ahead of their Xbox Bethesda game showcase event, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday. So, Mike, you're welcome to stick around, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show over at patreon.com/kindafunnygames. On patreon.com/kindafunnygames, you can write in with your questions, comments, concerns, squad up requests, and so much more. You, of course, would also get the show ad-free, and you'd get it with the exclusive post show we usually do. However, today, of course, is Summer Games Fest Kickoff, meaning that as soon as this show ends, we are live reacting to it. So no post show today. We hope you understand. But hey, if you're still a Patreon person, or you want to go join the Patreon today, patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Remember, brand spanking new episode of Kinda Funny's Next Gen podcast with all the young kids up there talking. You got a 2-part Q&A from me. And if you've never joined before, that means you have like 900 Q&As to get through and a whole bunch of other exclusive stuff we've never published anywhere else. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. You can watch us record this show live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, just like Barack Attack is, Hawker Music is, and the Nanobiologist are. Remember, if you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe each and every weekday. Thank you, Andy. With the delay, I'm sure that was right on. It was right on. Nailed it. Housekeeping for you. It is E3 week, motherfuckers. Can you believe it? E3 is back. I got to go rehearse it because I'm hosting E3. We did it yesterday, and let me tell you, it is a humdinger of a show. You are going to have some fun. And remember, Kinda Funny will be there the entire time with you, live reacting on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you miss the live reactions there, of course, they post over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Some of them will be Gamescast post shows. Some of them will be XCast post shows. You can get those on the podcast feeds as well as youtube.com/kindafunnygames. But remember, today it all kicks off Summer Games Fest, 11 a.m. Pacific time. We will be reacting right after the show with it. And then, of course, E3. I want to say it starts on Saturday. That's true for E3. But Summer Games Fest, tomorrow's Coke Media. There's a million things happening. We're reacting and having a good time. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Donovan Harkness and Blackjack. Today we're brought to you by Honey, Caviar, and Credit Karma. But I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
Baker's dozen.
Now, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. You were late on that because you were slacking me if my gain was different. My gain is still the normal 3 dots. It's this LA weather. Andy, is your gain different down here?
I had to. You were late on that, because we're using a lav mic, so my gain's just. I have a different setup completely, Greg.
Sure. Yeah. But Kevin, if you need me to do anything different because I'm in a hotel room, you let me know and I'll do it.
Are you using? Maybe lower it just a little bit because you're coming in a little louder than normal. And then the second question: are you using OBS Virtual Cam to do this, or are you just going into? Oh, okay. All right. No. All right. Good.
Straight into Discord.
I gotta assume it's just a little Wi-Fi issue. It's
all
good. You're delayed by like milliseconds, Greg. Who gives a shit? It's E3. We're having fun. I also was having some trouble moving around the Kinda Funny dock without it being in my glasses. I was trying so hard to angle over.
You can have it be in the glasses. Don't worry. Nobody cares. I didn't bring my blue light canceling glasses either. I forgot that.
It's so sunny out here.
Oh, the car's coming again, Andy. Look out.
Oh yeah,
I don't like lost.
Just trying to find.
He just keeps going right behind you. That's weird. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said at the top of the show, Xbox today came out swinging. Phil Spencer all over the place talking about the future of Xbox. There's a whole bunch of different stuff. We will start over on the Xbox Wire where they publish all their news. A post already in progress, but talking about the future. We will start with Xbox and Xbox Game Pass are coming to more screens. Xbox is working with global TV manufacturers to embed the Xbox experience directly into internet-connected televisions with no extra hardware required except a controller. Xbox is exploring new subscription offerings for Xbox Game Pass so more players around the world can experience the most immersive and fun games across devices, geographies, and financial realities. Xbox is working with telecommunication providers on new purchasing models like Xbox All Access, which allows consumers to buy both a console and Game Pass for a low monthly price rather than spending the money up front. Xbox is building its own streaming devices for cloud gaming to reach gamers on any TV or monitor without the need for a console at all. Cloud gaming through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will launch in Australia, Brazil, Mexico, and Japan later this year. In the next few weeks, cloud gaming on the browser will open to all Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members. With Edge, Chrome, and Safari support, players will be one click away from gaming on almost any device. Then they say, we're in the final stages of updating our Microsoft data centers around the world with our latest generation of hardware, the Xbox Series X. This means gamers will see faster load times, improved frame rates, and experience Xbox Series X/optimized games, or X/S optimized games. And later this year, we'll add cloud gaming directly into the Xbox app on PC and integrate it into our console experience to light up scenarios like try before you download. There, again, it's all Xbox news today. All 5 stories are Xbox. This is where I feel like we should start. Andy, what does this do for you?
It just keeps on showing that Xbox cares so much about the consumer in the way that, obviously they still want to sell you stuff. I'm not acting like they're giving the shit away for free. Like every newborn after the year 2025 will be given an Xbox. Like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that the ease of use of getting into this ecosystem and just having it kind of be this ubiquitous thing that's everywhere. It's going to get to the point where it's going to be like cell phone coverage. I think it's going to be like saying like, I have AT&T.
That's the goal, right?
I also have Xbox, and sure, I have it on my TV. If I go to mom and pop's house, their internet's bad, but whatever. I don't have to play a crazy game on Xbox Cloud. I can just do, maybe do a daily in Destiny and keep grinding on this whatever game. Yeah, I think it's not surprising at all that we hear Phil Spencer coming out and talking and saying, yeah, we want to make this shit a lot easier for you. It's easy as it is enough right now, and it's going to keep getting better and better. We're going to keep working on this. So kudos to Xbox. They're always killing it.
With this being our first news story, right, the post they put up on the Xbox Wire starts, at Xbox, our mission is simple: bring the joy and community of gaming to everyone on the planet. To achieve that, we aspire to empower everyone to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. And the first quote from Phil is this: we believe that games, that interactive entertainment, aren't really about hardware and software. It's not about pixels, it's about people. Games bring people together. Games build bridges and forge bonds, generating mutual empathy among people all over the world, joy and community. That's why we're here. Mike Howard, host, and I'd arguably say the smartest person on that XCast, the Kind of Funny XCast, posting each and every Saturday.
Wow.
What does this do for you? Because again, this is them doubling down on what they've been selling for so long.
Yeah, this does a lot for me, Greg. It's actually really, really exciting because if we rewind to the last generation, the beginning of that was all about TVs and Connect, right? And now here we are. They know what the gamers want. We want games, and we want to be at the center of this Xbox ecosystem that they're planning out for the future. And I think they're hitting that, right? The message is clear, and I really love the part of joy and community. Myself and Parris, we got to be able to see a video of the whole Xbox leadership team, and you can see it. They believe in that, and the fans believe in that. I've been on a lot of Xbox podcasts lately to talk about games and E3, and you can just feel that camaraderie. You can feel the community is really having this resurgence. They're excited. They're ready to have some fun. And then on top of that, how we build out this ecosystem. You just brought out a lot there in this Xbox Wire breakdown, and Gary was right. Gary wanted this to become a TV app, and they're going to make that a reality. They're also going to look into furthering that TV app where, maybe it is a dongle. But I'm really excited because Parris Lilly, one of the smartest dudes that I know, always says they're giving the players options. This is an option for you to
Can
play.
we go
it's
one
not a
podcast?
mandate.
Can we go one podcast and not talk about Parris Lilly? That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean?
Greg.
Like, I just
Greg.
Jesus.
Greg, it is
Thank God.
great that Blessing Adeoye Jr. is the smartest person on PS I Love You XOXO. But I'm so excited to see Mike here on Kind of Funny Games Daily. And yes, we did get to see the video with Phil Spencer and the senior leadership over there at Xbox. And Gary Whitta was right all along. He called it first. He's been saying it the entire time. And they're doing exactly what they should be doing. They're bringing gaming to more people. That was the overall message that they put out there. Game Pass obviously is a part of that. Azure, the cloud, the services, they're bringing gaming to where people are. So consoles are still a thing. PC is going to be a thing, but now it's going to be on mobile. It's going to be on tablets. It's going to be on smart TVs. Any device that has internet connectivity and they could put a freaking Xbox app on it, they're going to bring gaming to that platform. And that's just a simple message of all of it. So it is pretty exciting. Really excited to see this.
I don't know why Gary's getting all this credit. This is what I've been saying forever. I've been saying for this forever that this is how it was going to go, and I'm glad it is. And I'm not even throwing shit. Like, everybody's right, because this is exactly this is the smart move for Xbox, right? With Game Pass and with xCloud of you want it. And so for me, out of the first part of this story, right, the things that speak the loudest to me, working with global TV manufacturers to embed the Xbox experience directly onto these TVs, right? Building its own streaming devices. So you can get this to any TV that isn't one of the new ones. And then cloud gaming directly into the Xbox app on PC and integrate it more into the console experience. Like, those are the bullet points and the next steps. I feel like, I not to be a broken record on what I always talk about, but when I talk about this E3, right, this Sunday, the Xbox and Bethesda 90-minute showcase, I keep talking about this needs to be the one where they finally kick the dominoes, where they say, we've lined up, we have Tim and Double Fine. We have Bethesda. We have Ninja Theory. We've shown you these teases. You know these games are nebulous and out there. We have this amazing console in the Xbox Series X. We have these amazing services with Xbox Game Pass, with cloud gaming. Now's the time to come out on Sunday and go, boom, here are the games. Here's when they're coming. Here's their look. Halo Infinite looks completely different. It's amazing. And just have everybody go, oh, holy shit, Xbox is on another level. And I think getting out and being like, hey, that stuff everyone said we should do, and the stuff we've been saying we want to do, we are doing it. And we're telling you all of that now, Thursday, the Thursday before our Sunday presentation. Because right now we know the people who watch Kind of Funny Games Daily and care about internet and video game news are going to catch everything that's happening on Thursday. And then Sunday, we can just be about the games.
Yes, so true there, Greg. That is really, really exciting. And the focus should be on games on Sunday. And this is a nice press breakdown. And what I'm really excited about is me and Parris will tell you, and I know you've experienced it too, Greg, is, xCloud has been in beta this whole time. We've been running off the former generation. And when you jump into that, you can feel it, right? It is significantly slower, but you also set the mindset of what you're doing. Now for them to be like, hey, we're going to elevate the hardware, and you're going to see that. When people jump in for the first time and experience xCloud now, they're going to see that power, and they're going to be wowed by that, because it is a really wowing functionality of gameplay, but it definitely is slower. You can tell. This is really exciting to me as well, the elevation of what those data centers are going to be able to do.
I think it's really exciting. I think you nailed it perfectly, Greg, setting up those dominoes. Like we told you, we showed you what the season 1 story arc was. We showed you different pieces in season 2, and we're going to just fucking hit you over the head in season 3. And this is what all of this has been for. And yes, it's been kind of painful leading up to it, right? Like, let's not act like 4 years ago we were stoked about Xbox conferences. It was you'd watch a conference and be like, all right, well, where's the thing? Like, show me the thing. And it's all about being patient. And we've been patient with Xbox, and it feels like all of those things are finally coming to fruition. And I am so goddamn excited and so stoked for Xbox fans out there.
Now, one of the things Parris said when we were talking about all that is that, of course, they're not moving away from consoles. I put that here at number 2. This is from Wesley Yin-Poole over at Eurogamer. Xbox, of course, is still making consoles. Microsoft made a raft of announcements today about the cloud, but it also insisted it remains committed to making consoles. Liz Hamren, CVP of Gaming Experiences and Platforms, said Microsoft was already working on new hardware, quote, some of which won't come to light for years. Cloud is key to our hardware and Game Pass roadmaps, but no one should think we're slowing down our core console engineering. In fact, we're accelerating it, Liz said in a video briefing shown to press this week. We're already hard at work on new hardware and platforms, some of which won't come to light for years. But even as we build for the future, we're focused on extending the Xbox experience to more devices today so we can reach more people. While we continue to expand in PC, mobile, console remains our flagship experience. We want to deliver the most powerful, capable consoles in the world, devices that empower our players to enjoy amazing games for years to come, including gameplay we can't even imagine yet. Mike, the right call?
The right call, totally. I think this is one, after leaving the Xbox One generation and being down on it all, I think there was a worry of like, well, we've had this conversation, could Xbox ever back out of this? And when you read all of this and you saw what me and Parris saw, it felt like, hey, they believe in this. They're not going anywhere. They're going to continue to move forward with gaming because they know that this is a gigantic industry they want to be a part of. They want to make money, of course, in. And I really feel reassured as a gamer to know that Xbox and this ecosystem are not going anywhere anytime soon. And that's what I'm all about. And yeah, of course, more consoles, the better. Let's see what the next power could be.
1000%, yeah.
Andy, what the fuck is happening behind you?
Oh, that's the that was the Jeff Keighley hologram. He had a little hologram set up to where he just kind of addresses all of E3 in a very I guess Blade Runner fashion. We love Jeff. He's always so big with his presentations. We love the guy. But yeah, I'm really stoked about, the continued hardware, right? We talk about how not everybody's going to be ready to transition over to PC gaming. Not everybody wants to do that. There are still a lot of Xbox gamers out there that are console first, right? And we always talk about how, well, you could just play it. You can play the better version of it on PC. Not everybody has the means to do that. Not everybody wants to do that. PC gaming, Greg, it sucks, right? Like we've all
Andy,
agreed.
thank you.
We've all agreed. But yeah, like it's just great that they're going to continue that hardware manufacturing, and that's not going away. We know that that's safe. We know that people who are really into that are going to be totally fine with that.
Parris and Mike, and I'll direct it to Parris to start. You keep talking about this video, and it was mentioned here in this presentation. What exactly was this video? How long was it? Like, when did you see it?
It was about an hour. It was embargoed,
Oh,
so
wow.
it came out a few days ago, and yeah, it was pretty much the entire Xbox senior leadership. Like Sarah Bond was a part of it. Matt Booty was a part of it, as an example, and they just kind of went through the entire business of where Xbox currently is and where they're trying to go in the future. So when you talk about the part with Liz with the hardware and everything, they're coming at with the two-prong approach in that we're going to give you the high end with the Series X. We're going to give you the low end with the Series S to basically give you a low cost entry into the next generation of gaming. We're going to supplement it with cloud. Like they're even integrating cloud into the Xbox app on PC, and they're going to integrate it into the console. Like you talked about, the kind of try it before you download it scenario. Whereas they want to make sure whatever your quote unquote endpoint is, they're going to be there. That's what their end game is. They want to make sure, however you want to interact with their games, they're going to make sure that they're there. And I don't know if this is the next story point, but I'll just jump into the part with Matt Booty and Tim Stewart talking about, now they got a couple dozen studios, and they're trying to make games across multiple genres. And the ultimate goal there is to have an exclusive first party game every quarter. That's where they want to get.
Yeah, if I can jump in.
Yeah.
I had it as number 4, so there's one before it. But number 4 on the report, incredible pipeline of games from the official Xbox breakdown was, with more than 23 studios worldwide creating games for Xbox, our goal is to release at least one new first-party game into Game Pass every quarter. Role-playing games, shooters, strategy titles, adventure games, and more are all being built by our first-party teams to ensure that there is a steady stream of compelling, exclusive content to explore. Mike, that's music to my ears, right? That's music I would think to every Xbox player's ears, is that you hear at least once a quarter from these 23 studios. Here's something exclusive and amazing.
Greg, that should be music to every gamer's ears as well, right? Because through the Game Pass subscription, you're going to get that first party game day and date right there for a low price instead of spending $60 to $70, which is really exciting. And on the flip side, on the Xbox side, this is really exciting because we came off that last generation saying, where are the games? And we're still to this day saying, okay, we've talked about games. You have the studios now. Let's show it. And we know the roadmap is about to begin. And hitting once a quarter is pretty wild to think about. I mean, once every 3 months, we're going to hit you with some sort of game that's going to be a big first party exclusive game. Is huge deal. And this is now going to be into the console wars of, hey, who has the IPs? Who's putting out the games? And it's content, just like we see with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. And Xbox has really doubled down on this. And it looks like this generation over the next decade will be all about games and all about their first parties.
Now, Mike, do you think that it's going to be big first parties? Do you think it's going to be these big first parties? Like when we talk about first party games, I think of the Gears of War, those gigantic type games, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that, right? It can be the smaller scale stuff that maybe sure they're working on Senua's Sacrifice, but also, or Senua 2, what are we calling it? Senua's Sacrifice, right?
Sacrifice, correct.
But also, what are they making a smaller game in the background to kind of supplement that time and fill in the gaps or whatever? I would rather it be that than expect this gigantic game every quarter, because how can you keep up with that pace? That's kind of insane.
I think that's what you're going to get, Andy, and that's going to be the exciting part in the conversation we have of some quarters are not going to be for you. Some quarters you might feel aren't the biggest and the baddest, but they have such a big stable now of you're going to get Age of Empires, you're going to get a flight simulator, you're going to get an Everwild, and that's going to supplement those big Gears of War, those Halos, those Perfect Darks, and onward, right? And I think me and Parris will tell you, and of course Sarah Bond will tell you, Game Pass leads you to trying new things and allows you to try games that you wouldn't want to buy right off the rip for $40 to $60. And it's really exciting of a game like Everwild, where I know I'd be 50-50 on that, most likely not going to get that. And now I can at least try it. And so each and every quarter here, no matter what the game is, you're going to have the opportunity to try and hopefully try something new and expand your gaming portfolio, which is really exciting to me. And I'm sure a lot of other gamers.
Yeah, if I could jump in, because I have to bounce out, I have to go do my real job. But one other thing
I told you, just quit.
Pay me then. How about that?
Give me a number. I've asked several times.
But being serious for a second, one thing that Phil Spencer kind of touched on with this, and this kind of ties it more back in the Game Pass, is they want to make Xbox Game Studios and just Game Pass as a whole a place for discoverability across multiple genres. So like you said, you're going to have your big AAA games, you're going to have your smaller games, but there's something there for everyone. That's, again, their ultimate goal of what they're trying to achieve. And Matt Booty did say one thing, and I think this was very important that I don't think enough people are saying. He was upfront that this is ambitious, but not every project that they start will launch. Things will fail. It's just a part of the business. It's a part of the gaming industry. So you have to understand, even though they may have all these studios working on all these games, I think like Everwild, as an example, is one I think about. We may never see that game. You don't know, because we've only seen a little bit of it. And, who knows if that comes out, right? What if it doesn't?
Be Skull and Bones.
Yeah, it could be. Great. That's another example. So, but for me, I just took overall from everything they were saying from the gaming standpoint, the cloud standpoint, the accessibility and inclusion standpoint as well, that they're trying. They see the long-term goal of where they think gaming is headed, and they're trying to meet it there with, obviously, the backing of Microsoft. Satya Nadella clearly is on board. The Azure efforts with the cloud, just all the tools and the services that they're putting together is where Xbox is headed. But they got to deliver the games, ultimately. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
If they don't have great games, none of this other shit matters. So that's it.
I mean, Parris, we just recorded this past week the review for Ratchet and Clank. Like, give me something like that. I want something at that level. Yeah.
What did I say? They don't have that. Yeah. That's part of the problem. They don't have a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They need that. They got to get a family-friendly platformer like that. That's for everyone. They don't have that in their current lineup. Maybe we'll find out something Sunday. Who knows? But
let's throw $2 billion at Super Lucky's tail. Let's do it. Come on.
All right. I gotta go work. I'll see my number, Grant. Bye.
Ah, shit, Parris.
While we're talking about
I was gonna say I'm in LA. He could hit me up and go get some lunch or something like that.
As we were talking about Game Pass being, a great tool for discoverability, as Parris was saying, it's also interesting to pull these from news.xbox.com. Along with all this with some stats, Xbox Game Pass members play 30% more genres and play 40% more games. And more than 90% of players said they played a game that they would not have tried without Game Pass, which is exactly what you're talking about, Mike, and which is, I think, works so well even for me. Games that come through, I'm like, oh, that's not my traditional genre, but what do I have to lose? Why not jump in? Andy, are you finding that too? Are you playing things on Xbox Game Pass you wouldn't normally?
1,000%. Yeah. And especially when they mentioned that they are going to sort of enhance the efforts on the PC side. That's what I'm excited about more. I not only love hopping into these newer games that are dropping onto Game Pass, but also older games in the catalog that I would have never touched. Let me see how this feels on PC. Oh, it's actually kind of good. Next thing you know, I'm 6 hours in. So yeah, definitely. I think it's like, why not? Why would you not do this? The thing I'm sort of wondering is, much like a Netflix, when are we going to start to see these prices start to increase more and more and more and more? That's the thing that you start to think about, because Netflix just went up again, didn't it? Like last month I think I got a notification that it's like back up to $17.99 or some shit for the family pack. I could obviously lessen that or tell my parents and family to fuck off forever, but I don't see this being this amazing value for too long. Like I think by the next 2 years, it could be up to $19.99 a month, $24.99 a month. And then you start getting to that point where it's like, shit, I didn't play any games this month. I could have canceled it this month. I should have, dropped that subscription, much like all these other subscriptions that we find ourselves being attached to,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Mike, where are you with that? Because I think that's one of the conversations people have so much is like, is Xbox Game Pass too good a deal to actually stick around? And I think people worry about it from the developer side, but as you know, Xbox's stats and the conversations developers have had with it, they do see purchases from this, even if they are, giving the game away for free. They do see increases. It does work for them. Do you worry about the price of Game Pass going up in the somewhat near future?
Yeah, of course, I'm a gamer just like everyone else, and I do worry about that. And it's funny, we had this conversation back when they price hiked the Xbox Live Gold membership and then reverted that really quick. But we had that conversation of, look at this deal you're getting right now, $9.99, $14 a month, right? And eventually this will have to go up. You're getting over 100 plus games, and they only use 100. It's like 300 right now on Xbox and on PC. There's a lot of games over here for you to choose from. And so it's one of those you look at and you go, well, let's really speak real here. Let's break it down. $20, you probably wouldn't bat an eye at, and you probably would do. You might get a little mad, but you would understand, right? Could we see this go up to $30? I think, like Andy's saying, right, there's going to be a tipping point here where now it becomes, well, I could just buy the game and I'd be fine and I'd keep it moving. But we're going to get into that area of $15 to $30 where people are going to start to have a conversation each and every month. And yes, it is inevitable. You cannot continue to run at $9 and $14. We will see a price hike. When will it be? I don't think within this year. I think in the next 365 days, by the next E3, they will lock this price in and keep it going because they know they're only adding more members, right? They're shooting for 40 to 50 million members by the end of the year. That's the target goal here, and they could be on that track to make it happen. So a price hike might totally change that right now.
God, that's so many users. That's absolutely wild. I would have never guessed that
I think
several
you're
years
right,
ago.
Mike. Oh, no, right? And I think, Mike, you're right in terms of pricing, where I think right now they have to come out and they have to start firing on all cylinders. They have to start hitting this, every quarter having a big game on it. And I think if you get into that rhythm and you actually prove to the consumer the quality of games they're getting from it and the cadence at which they're delivering, I think then it's an easier pill to swallow after a year from now, right? You've had all these amazing games and we've bought more studios and there's more stuff coming, but that means that the price has to go up. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, Greg. And I mean, if you look at it right now, right? Oh, you good there in the prison cell? I was worried about you.
I no, that's the thing is I'm noticing that I'm definitely, it seems like the gap is getting longer.
Time keeps on
between what I'm
slipping.
slipping between you getting it and me getting it. So yeah, like I'm about to bounce over to ads and then probably disconnect and reconnect the Discord.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm
but if you
noticing
want to
some
make
issues.
your point, Mike, go for it.
I'm getting some issues on my
Let's
end
run
here
it.
too.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you should be going to patreon.com/kindafunnygames where you can write in to be part of the show. Of course, over there, you can get a bunch of exclusive content in terms of shows, in terms of post shows, but most importantly for this right now, you go to patreon.com/kindafunnygames and get this show ad-free, along with every other show Kinda Funny puts up ad-free, along with the post shows we do for all those shows as well. But guess what, Jack? You didn't go to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. So let's hear a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Caviar. Loving good food doesn't necessarily mean you're able to cook well. If you want a great meal but need a little help, let the restaurant come to you. Caviar can help. How often do you get the best of both worlds? If you want a chef-cooked meal but don't want to leave the comfort of your own home, Caviar can make it happen. They make it happen for me very, very often. I thank them very, very much. Caviar is the food delivery app for people that are into good food. They bring the best local restaurants directly to your doorstep. Caviar keeps it local. That's what's really cool about them. All the hidden gems in your neighborhood, they're on Caviar. Trust me, all my favorite taquerias, yeah, they've been delivered to me thanks to Caviar. Not sure what you want to eat? Let Caviar's staff picks recommend the best spots in your neighborhood to find your new favorite. And just for you guys, Caviar is offering $10 off an order of $20 or more. All you have to do is put in the offer code KINDAFUNNY at checkout. Remember, that's $10 off a purchase of $20 or more with offer code KINDAFUNNY. Download the Caviar app and use the code KINDAFUNNY. Come on, guys, $10 off. That's awesome. Next up, honey. If you want to save money, you better be using Honey, baby. We all shop online, and we've seen the promo code field taunt us at checkout, but thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey's the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites that have tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands, even food delivery. I always talk about this. Everything from Best Buy to Etsy, you're saving money using Honey. I have saved so much money. Kind of Funny has saved so much money just by installing it once. It's so easy. It's in your browser, and then it does all the work. When you check out, it just applies coupons. You're saving money. It's free. Why wouldn't you use this? If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It just takes a few seconds to install. It's so easy. Go to joinhoney.com/games. That's joinhoney.com/games to get Honey for free. joinhoney.com/games. And finally, let's talk about Credit Karma Money. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win cash reimbursements for making purchases. Credit Karma has always been there to help you make better financial decisions, and now they want to help even more. With a Credit Karma Money spend account, you can be rewarded for good money habits. Just pay with your debit card, and if you win, you'll be notified on the spot, and your instant Karma cash will be added back into your spend account. Credit Karma Money has already given away over $3 million in instant Karma to over 50,000 Credit Karma members and counting. Right now, you can visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant Karma. Go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant Karma. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVP Bank Inc. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply. creditkarma.com/winmoney.
We're back. What's up, everybody? I should be more in sync now. Thanks for sticking with me. Of course, me and Andy down here covering E3, Summer Games Fest. He's on location with a satellite truck. I'm having to use hotel Wi-Fi today and tomorrow. But for reactions, of course, because if you didn't remember, I'm hosting E3 Saturday through Tuesday, and I'll be reacting with the guys after I say stuff on the stage. I'll run into the set, and that's going to be wired. So don't worry about that. And while we're here, You're Wrong from kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. We misidentified the Senua game.
Sirens are on our end. Sorry about that.
Yep. Ready, clear the path.
I mean, you're at LA Live, right? Like, there's gonna be sirens.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Hope they're okay.
Over on You're Wrong. Katie G wrote in to say the first Hellblade was Senua's Sacrifice. The second is Senua's Saga. We missed that when we were talking. Moving too fast. So
the city's hustling and bustling. I'm just kind of, my mind's all over the place.
Like,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
What are you seeing? Because usually, LA Live, so many people walking around at all times of the day. But right now, it's just one Prius that keeps rolling by, and apparently a fire truck and a Jeff Keighley hologram.
No, we had it quartered off. Make sure nobody walks by.
Gotcha.
Clear
the
camera shot.
That makes perfect sense. I appreciate your commitment to this show. Number 4 on the Roper Report. There is some subtle shade about PlayStation from Phil Spencer. We go to IGN.com, where Joe Skrebbels files this report. Head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has quietly criticized other developers that port their games to PC after initial release and charge full price for the new versions. Spencer didn't say he was talking about PlayStation, but he was talking about PlayStation. In a video shown to press this week, Spencer explained Xbox is currently, quote, the only platform shipping games on console, PC, and cloud simultaneously, end quote. He then compared that to other companies. Quote, others bring console games to PC years later, not only making people buy their hardware up front, but then charging them a second time to play on PC. And of course, all of our games are in our subscription service day one, full cross-platform included, end quote. Sony only recently began creating PC ports for its first-party PlayStation exclusives, but it's recently committed to the idea. PlayStation Studios boss Herman Hulst recently said that there was a clear appetite for the PC ports, but that, quote, PlayStation will remain the best place to play our PlayStation Studios titles at launch. As Spencer points out, PlayStation's current strategy is to release its games on console first, with full-priced PC ports following at a later date. A marked difference to the Xbox Play Anywhere approach that sees all Xbox first-party games sold at a single price, offering access on all supported platforms. While a little coded, it's an unexpected criticism from the usually generous Spencer, who also recently called console tribalism, quote, one of the worst things in the industry. Mike Howard, host of the Kinda Funny XCast, did you see this as an actual slight against PlayStation? Did you see this as an unexpected criticism?
I would call it an unexpected criticism for me there, Greg. I think Phil has tried to stay very positive and always has talked about inclusion and everybody being in this together. And so I found that odd of like, I felt that too. When I was watching my press briefing, I was like, dang, we're really kind of taking a shot across the line over here because there were some moments as well talking about playing together and everybody having cross play in different generations. And I also felt at the beginning, I was like, oh man, okay, so we are looking across the side. And and no matter what, when we talk about games, we always look at the other side, what they're doing, what they're not doing. And it did feel a little bit different coming from Phil saying that in this. I got to say, I was a little wowed by that because that is not the vibe he's given me all of these years lately.
Well, I thought we were being cool and chill on Twitter, Phil. What's going on, dog? Like, you always tweet us and congratulate us when we do cool stuff. What's up with that? I mean, I look at a certain point, you still have to be a competitor, and you still have to point out why your platform should be more preferred. That's what they do. They have to do this. So it's not like I don't really take it as a slight. I think it's more of a hey, check out what we're doing over here, right? We're doing it what I think is the right way. Hopefully other people take notice, and hopefully all of these other game companies out there. No, you're just talking about PlayStation. It's okay. Just say it, right? But I totally agree with him, right? Like I think PC games should be more of a thing that Sony does focus on, and hopefully that becomes more of their a focal point in the future to say, hey, if you are an Xbox gamer and you do have Xbox Game Pass, check it out. We got The Last of Us 2 coming to PC in 2029 or whatever. Hopefully it's a lot sooner than later.
Well, before we jump there, I'm more on the Andy side of the equation here, and I thought that Joe Skrebbels, a friend of the show, obviously, it's an unexpected criticism from the generous Spencer, who recently called console tribalism one of the worst things in the industry. For me, this isn't tribalism. Tribalism is, I love PlayStation, Xbox sucks. Or the other way around, I love Xbox. The DualSense is a bad controller, even though that's objectively false. That's tribalism. That's fanboyism, right? That's just being a nonsense person. This is the actual business strategy, right? And Phil being like, hey, this is what we do and why we do it. I don't understand why other people are doing this and making you buy the thing. Yeah, I don't feel like that's a shot. That's not a sucker punch. That's an actual the lay of the land when it comes to the industry and a justified thing. And it's similar to what we always talk about where, Kind of Funny is a positive place, right? We don't want assholes. But that doesn't mean that if we don't like a game, we're going to be like, oh, no, it's all right. We're going to say we don't like the game. We wouldn't play something just to play it or whatever, like to that extent. Like, you can be critical of things without being a fanboy of them. You can be critical of something without being mean about it. I don't take any of this as being mean. I think it's him being like, this is our business strategy versus the other guys, in quotes.
I think it would have been less of a sort of feeling like a shot if he just said Sony. If he said, hey, Sony's doing this, I think we're doing it better over here. All congratulations to Sony. They're killing it. Obviously, we know that. But I think this part of our business is a better decision for us and a better thing for the fans, right? I think if he just would have said that, as opposed to the subtweeting nature of other people aren't doing it the way we're doing it, it sounds more like a shot when you do it that way.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's nice also to hang your hat on the good things that Xbox is doing, right? We don't get to praise Xbox enough. Sure, over on the XCast we do, but in the general gaming sphere, Xbox has been down. They are down, and we don't get to celebrate those big wins like PlayStation does because that is the majority, right? The vocal minority is on the Xbox side, and they don't get to celebrate it like they do. Or you'll see the console tribalism where it's just like if Xbox does something good, we bash on them even though it's something good. And it is exciting to know that this team is doing what's right for their consumer, at least in their mind, right? And that play anywhere is a big deal. You buy that game once, you can play it anywhere. Your save will follow you anywhere. And that's something that a lot of, teams in this industry, I'll give the subtweet right there, right? Other companies in this industry don't do, right? And maybe they should do because we're playing everywhere and anywhere nowadays. And maybe we should think about that instead of selling us a port that's 5 years old for $70, stuff like that. But I mean, it's really exciting.
This doesn't really have to do with ports coming out years later, but it's more of just look how people feel about downloading Final Fantasy Intergrade and getting their current save on their PS5. Like that's just another thing that, sure, I think Sony would have liked that process to be easier for you, but that just probably wasn't engineered and prepared for. So like I think Xbox and Microsoft and Phil are doing so many things that are just a lot more consumer friendly, and I hope that Sony does catch up to that. In the reverse, I hope that all of these sort of new reveals that we're going to see from Xbox, hopefully this year, can match up to Sony's. So you can't call me a
I've said
fanboy,
it so many
everybody.
times.
Don't say
I've
it,
said
Joe.
it so many times, right? But like Xbox kicks the shit out of PlayStation on consumer-facing moves, and we want to talk about just the ability to transfer saves, smart delivery, Xbox Game Pass, cloud gaming, all these different things that it does. If they can just turn the corner on games, if they can just have awesome games that are exclusive and are like everything they've talked about here, everything you hope we get in the 90-minute presentation on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, right? Like that's what Xbox needs. And if they can get that rolling, I think it's going to be so hard for PlayStation to react. We talk about this on PS I Love You all the time of by the time that if that ball picks up the momentum and get going, by the time PlayStation will be like, oh shit, we have to pivot and be a little bit more like we were when we launched PlayStation 4, that's going to take years to turn that ship. And I don't think they're in the process of doing that. PlayStation is in the process of being PlayStation right now, which is this PC strategy, which is amazing first-party games. Ratchet and Clank, we all adore, right? Like on top of Spider-Man Miles Morales, on top of everything you're looking forward to. Like they have what they're doing and it works for them, and it's worked for them all last generation. But if Xbox can just get one foot in front of the other and start running on the games front, I really think they're going to be hard to catch.
1000%.
God, it's so cool hearing you two say that because it is something where it's like I see that all the time, and I love when other people see it because they do so many awesome things and they're trying really hard to be the best. And it feels good to hear other people see that, enjoy that, and experience that because, gosh darn it, they're doing some cool stuff.
Andy, I guess this one you kind of drifted into, but I want you to actually answer because I think, Mike, you're obviously the Xbox guy. I'm the PlayStation guy. Andy's more of the PC guy. BJ Bernardo writes into patreon.com/kindafunnygames, just like you can, to be part of the show and says, hi, y'all. Good morning and egg. Trying to combine our names, Andy and Greg. It didn't work. Are we happy with the way Sony is releasing games on PC? To be clear, I don't mean does Sony need to. They clearly don't. And I don't think you would ever see them drop games day one on PC. But do you guys want them to release them faster or even day one on PC? Andy Cortez, #1 PC gamer, Nitro Rifle, twitch.tv/Andy Cortez. How do you respond?
Well, sure. I mean, I think that's asking a little too much, and I think it's a bit ideal to get them day one, right? But yeah, sure, I would like them sooner. The thing that I am not stoked about is just the sort of, obviously with this most recent sort of interview that they had and blog post, it seems like it's going to become more of a regular thing and more of a consistent thing. But up until now, everything has been a surprise. Everything is sort of out of order. A lot of things are missing. So like we get Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's a really big deal, and that's cool. And holy crap, we actually got a PlayStation exclusive on PC. That's really wild. And then we get I can't think of the zombie fucking
Days
game. Days Gone. Days Gone comes out. We get news of Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 was the first sort of PlayStation exclusive, well, not NAC or whatever. You know what I mean? On PS4.
Yeah.
And like, what order are we doing this in? Is there a priority on certain games? Can we get more transparency on that end? I think that's my only annoyance with it, is that it's like they want to do it, but don't want to say they're going to do it because they don't want to be held accountable to doing it. So, like, will we ever get a Bloodborne PC release? Will we get any of The Last of Us's on PC? Possibly, but like, where's the news? Are they going to let us know that? Or are they just going to be shadow drops and say, hey, check out what we've been doing in the background? I'd like to sort of, have some sort of a hint as to what's happening there.
Yeah, and that's the strategy they've held off on. And again, that's what I think Xbox is. I think, we talked about it with Parris, right? And Mike, from this presentation you guys went to. And I think how refreshing is it to hear them say, we have 23 studios working on games right now. You might not see them all. They might get canceled. They might not. I mean, like, it sounds silly because obviously we see games get canceled all the time and we talk about them on this show, but usually you find out about it from a leak or you find out about another news story that, references something like that. And so to have it, if you're going to open it up and be more forthcoming with the audience and with your consumers and your ecosystem, that goes really far. And again, if PlayStation wanted to do that with PC, it's something it would take a lot longer to get out of the blocks to do that they're not doing already, and wouldn't matter by the time they started to do it. You know, to the question here from the one and only BJ Bernardo, like, are you happy? Like, I don't really have an opinion since I'm not a PC player. Like, I'm happy as a PlayStation player, but I'm also not the PlayStation player that is. If Ratchet and Clank was coming day and date to PlayStation 5 and PC, would I be upset about it? I think as a industry analyst, whatever the hell you want to call me, like, I think it'd be a silly move for PlayStation, as they're trying obviously to get as many PlayStation 5s into the hands as possible, and they can't keep them on shelves. Like, you want there to be this mystique and audience in the library for it. And I think if you were to start putting those games on PC, you would erode the PlayStation 5 library, and maybe it's not as attractive as the thing. But as a consumer, I don't care that much.
I totally disagree there. I think that the hardcore console fans are going to get that thing no matter what, and are going to want to get that thing no matter what, and they're going to prefer to play on console. They are Greg. They are the people out there that only want it on this console. I think if they did day and date on PC, you're going to, that's 33% extra sales, possibly like 50% extra sales of the amount of people that play on PC, or just have one lying around that, look, this isn't the most superpowered thing ever, and I don't normally play on PC, but I've got one, and sure, I'd like to check out that new Ratchet and Clank sequel or whatever. I think it would just add a lot more sales. I don't think that would erode into PS5 sales whatsoever.
But what would it do right now? Because I think the slippery slope was, let's talk about it if it was happening right now. Ratchet and Clank's day and date on PC, right? I think you'd see so many people like, oh man, I haven't been able to get a PlayStation 5, but I want to play this, so I buy it on PC, right? And then do they sit there and go, oh man, like, it's what I was talking about with xCloud, right? Of like, you use it and you're like, oh, you know what? Like, this isn't as hard as I remember it being. There aren't this many drivers to do, yada, yada, yada. And then do you buy something else, and do you buy something else, and suddenly you start becoming a PC gamer? And then when there is a stock of PlayStation 5s, you go, well, now I'm going to wait for a price drop. I'm already invested here. I already have Ratchet. I already have Miles, in this world where PC stuff's day to day.
No, because I don't think you can count on microchip shortages. I don't think you can count on COVID being a thing, or count on the fact that 8 months after the console came out, you still can't get it. That's just not normal. Like, no other console cycle has really been that since maybe the Wii. Like, how long was the Wii hard to get? Yeah. This is not normal. This is totally like some weird anomaly. So I don't think that strategy takes into effect the idea that these consoles are hard to get now. So yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. I hope. It would be.
We will see.
It would be amazing if we got the games day and date. That would be fucking fantastic. But if I gotta wait 1.5 to 2 years, I'm just gonna get it on PS5 anyway.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, Greg.
Have you ever watched this show?
I have watched this show.
Good, because I'm putting you to the test. Mike, if I wanted to know what came to the mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
You would go to the full list of upcoming games and software provided to you by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday here on Kind of Funny Games Daily.
I
think I was pretty close, y'all.
You were damn close, Mike.
Hey, man, for me just pulling your shoe, I just pushed
that
you
was
out the plane on that
amazing.
one. You did fine.
I would have never gotten
out
it.
today. Motion Twin and Evil Empire releasing the 24th update for Dead Cells. What's the Damage on PC with the console version coming at a later date. Reconnect: The Heart of Darkness is on Steam in the Humble Store today. GTA Online's car boosting business is booming, with vehicle cargo sell missions netting double the usual rewards and lucrative bonuses for those who source 5 or more vehicles in vehicle cargo steal missions, all available until June 23rd. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is on PlayStation 5. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC. Over at Kotaku, Luke Plunkett wrote this headline: Ninja Gaiden's new PC port is one of the worst I have ever seen.
Hell yeah.
I felt the need to include that for you right there. If you want to go read Luke's thing over there. New dates for you. Knockout City tweeted today, did someone say double XP weekend? Oh, right,
wow.
We did. All match XP will be doubled starting tomorrow at noon UTC and running until noon UTC on Monday. This, I feel, is a personal affront to people who host E3, because I would really like to get this double XP, but it'll be difficult, but I'll do it. Greek Memories of Azure will be launching on PS5, Xbox Series X/S, Nintendo Switch, and Steam for PC on August 17th. And then Beasts of Maravilla Island will launch June 12th on Nintendo Nintendo Switch in North and South America, as well as globally on Steam. The game will arrive shortly after in other Switch regions, as well as the PS4 and Xbox consoles. And the one I can't wait for, because I'm sure the trophies will be great, Paw Patrol the movie Adventure City Calls will release August 13th on PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox and Steam. Deals of the
Raynor
day for
is
you,
very
Epic
excited
Game
about
Store.
that.
Oh yeah, of course. Any trophy / achievement whore is. Deals of the day for you. Epic Game Store talked about free games today. Right now, free is Genshin Impact and Control. Andy.
Wow, really?
Andy.
That's
Yeah, Control's
awesome.
free right now over on Epic
Control-
Game Store.
Control's
That's,
a real good
through
video game. Everybody
June-
go play that shit.
100%. That's through June 17th, and then on June 17th, Hell is Other Demons and Overcooked 2 become free for you. For Xbox free play days, Ark Survival Evolved, and Football Manager 2021 Xbox Edition are available for Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members to play right now until Sunday at midnight. Fallout 76 is available for an extended free play session today through Wednesday the 16th. We ask people watching, of course, to go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can get the show you pay us money, and then you get the show ad free, and then you get to be part of the show, and then you get the post show we usually do, but we can't do, and it's why I'm talking so fast, because we got Summer Games Fest to get ready for. But over on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, you can also squad up. You give me your name, username, platform of choice. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody plays games together. Theo John needs help on the PlayStation 5. Theo John's username is TheLegendofTheo, THEO. TheLegendofTheo, all one word, PlayStation 5. Theo says, angry Greg voice, "You cowards! My last squad up needed help with Dying Light's Mother Duckin' multiplayer trophies. Had a couple of ads on PSN, but no one was ever online to lend me a hand. Fine, I'm switching gears." And angry Greg voice, "I'm playing Avengers on PS5 now, and I'm looking to squad up with any kind of funny best friends that want to be Iron Man to my Thor. I may even Uber you some McNugs. Shakespeare in the
Wow.
Park, anyone?
Whoa.
If you want to play PlayStation 5 Avengers with The Legend of Theo, go do it. And I can't tell you if you should give out your address to a random person.
Good call.
I'll be the kind of funny best friend. I won't be held responsible for that, but there might be nugs in it if you want. I don't know.
Have it
I don't know about
drop
that.
it off at the corner, right at the corner of the street.
Okay, good call. Yep.
Sure.
That's a
That's
really
fair.
good.
Yeah, meet me
you
in
know
the
what
park.
though? Like, Greg, you bring up good points about privacy and the dangers of giving out your address. But as soon as they mentioned, "Hey, I'll send you some nugs," I was like, "God damn, that's a great idea for
Yeah, he's like,
in order to
I'm gonna start
encourage
playing
people to help
Avengers.
out." Yeah, god damn. Is that game still? They're still doing stuff on it?
Yeah, they are. But, we're hearing about War for Wakanda Square Enix presentation. Don't worry about
Wakanda
it.
forever, man.
Real quick for You're Wrong, of course, if you're watching live, kindoffunny.com/You're Wrong. Nano says this may have been because of delay issues, but Chicory, A Colorful Tale is out today, PS4, PS5, and PC. Thank you very much, Nano. We did miss that. Tomorrow, Blessing and I will be hosting this show. If you're watching live on Twitch right now, of course, Summer Games Fest Kickoff with Weezer is about to happen. So, Kevin, you can start building that. I'll give the outro. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms. We run youth and nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Hell, if you don't want to be part of the show, maybe go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and kick us a few bucks for sirens are on our end, everybody. Andy,
Yeah,
what is
sorry.
happening in LA? It's
It's
fine.
pandemonium out here.
Of course, you can watch it later, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe. Right now, we're going to do our live reactions to Summer Games Fest Kickoff event. Remember, for every one of these big old E3 events, we are live reacting on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, pre and post shows, having a good time. Until next time, for this very show, it's been our pleasure to serve you. And then just cut there, Kevin.